It's beer o'clock on Real Ale Craft Beer, and once a year Cooper's Brewery bring out a very special beer. It's their vintage ale, and this brewery is from Australia, but I've managed to try the 2021 version, the 2022 version, and now here I am trying the 2023 Cooper's Brewery vintage ale. And it's 7.5% ABV in a 355 milliliter bottle, and it's just one of those great beers of the world, known the world over. This one, Cooper's Brewery, but not really sold in the UK. I think I found it once. I think I found it in a bottle shop in Cardiff in about 2014 once. What's really lovely about being able to try the 2021, 2022, now the 2023 is that I have a wonderful friend in Australia who sends me, it was a twist off cap, who sends me these wonderful beers every year now for me to try and review on the channel. And I just want to thank Trav in Australia for sending me, let me experience, because that's the word, isn't it? Experience this wonderful beer once a year. Nice brown bottle, so you're not going to get any light bleeding through there. Have a look at that. I could have left a little bit of that sediment out, but I like to add the sediment to my beer. I think it adds extra flavour. I think it gives an extra level of flavour to your beer. We got a 1 finger white head, good levels of carbonation, and it's a kind of deep amber coloured beer with lots of micro sediment floating around in the glass. Look at that. Looks great, doesn't it? So thank you very much to Trav for sending. Let's get the aroma then on the beer. Been out the fridge about 10 minutes. Just to warm it up a little bit, just to I like to store my beer cold, but I like to drink it a little bit warmer than fridge temperature to experience all the malt and all the hops, let it warm up a touch. I never like to drink, I go to some craft beer bars and some of their beers served ice cold, and I'm thinking, it's too cold. You're not really experiencing the beer for what it really is. So if I buy a really good craft beer in a craft beer bar and it's served super cold, I'll leave it for 10-15 minutes before I even put my nose into it. Rich, nutty, biscuity, little bit of raisin, little bit of plum, little bit of kind of fruit there. It's one of those classic beers that when like a regional brewery like Cooper's in Australia, when they decide to brew a beer like this, or Shepherd Neame, or Badger, Brains, Marston's, Green King, they always brew them at about kind of 7-8%. They're always kind of double beer, and I love a big double beer when it gets to about 8% ABV. Because the malt is different, the hops are different. It just adds an extra level of quality when you get it up to about 7.58% ABV. Smells fantastic. Let's dive in. Cheers, everybody. Oh, that is absolutely fantastic. Stone the crows, stone the crows. A fantastic richness just kind of envelops the palate. Great quality malts coming through. A lovely bitterness on the back end. This, oh, the hops. The hop bitterness is fantastic. But it starts off so rich and sweet. I've got a feeling this beer is hoppier than last year's. This beer is much hoppier than the 2022 version. It's like they've dry hopped this now. I think they've still used a traditional Australian hop, or maybe like a variety of English hop that has gone to Australia many years ago. It's got that kind of classic British, like kind of brambling cross. That kind of traditional fuggles, like when you use fuggles in a beer, and then you get it, you use enough fuggles that it kind of offers some bitterness. Fabulous bitterness on the back end, but fabulous like underlying fruit flavors as well that are just coming through fantastically well. It's a really good beer, but it starts off with that lovely sweetness from the malt. So you've got sweetness from the malt over here, bitterness from the hops over here, amplified in the, I believe, in the 2023 version, and it's just a really, really well balanced beer. A rich, creamy mouthfeel, nice levels of carbonation, pushes the beer on the inside of the mouth. Oh, it's class. Look at that. Look as I rock the beer back and forth. You can see that carbonation chasing that head up the glass. Look at the quality of this glass of beer as I roll it round. Look at that. You can always tell a beer at like 7.58% when you can recreate that head like that. You can tell the quality of the beer. Oh, just wonderful. Cooper's Vintage Ale. Using only the finest ingredients, our own Cooper's malt, prime seasonal hops, and our cherished ale yeast, this naturally conditioned ale exhibits a generous, well-balanced aroma and flavour. And that's Dr. Tim Cooper, the chief brewer. Cooper's Pale Malt and seasonally selected hops. It's a fabulous, fabulous beer, this. It really is. Every year this beer is great. This is one of the classics, I think, from Cooper's Brewery. So I'm going to rate it. I definitely reviewed last year's. I can remember standing here reviewing it. I can't stitch everything together in terms of hops and everything because it was a year ago. I'm not going to pretend I'm Superman. But I seem to remember the last year's beer being a little bit more malty than this. And I definitely think that this is a little bit more hoppier. And I like that. I like the fact there's kind of slight variations in each year of the brew of this beer. So for that reason, this is a great one this year. I love that hop. That hop dominates start to finish. Lovely fruity flavours from the hops, dark fruit, plum, fig, prune, great bitterness on the beer. It's a great beer this year. 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10 from Real Ale Craft Beer. Thoroughly enjoyed that. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much to Trav for sending. Please put your comments in the comments box. Subscribe to our daily beer and food reviews. Give us a big fat thumbs up. Boom. Cheers.